the Spanish Grand Prix here for, oh my goodness, I think it's round 5 here for Tier 2 of the ISRL Grand Prix here in Season 3. I'm your host, Follow Monkeys. I'm joined, as always, by my ISRL Estunik in the commentator's booth. How you doing, Estunik, today?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm not doing too bad. Probably much better than the drivers, seeing that it looks like it's going to be a wet qualifying session. I'm happy I'm dry
Yes.
in the booth, I do have to say. Looks like we are just joining in, waiting for the drivers to go out on the track if they so choose to actually go out on the track. Now let's see. So Spanish Grand Prix. What do you think we can expect to see this week around this circuit that I think a lot of drivers are probably pretty familiar with at this point? Not like it's a relatively new circuit, as it looks like we've got a Ferrari that's just heading onto the track.
Well, everybody's had a week off, so I noticed in Tier 3 a little bit of rustiness upon the drivers, so could see anything. Almost guaranteed at least one safety car. Oh, LB, who is already retired from the session. He is not even messing with the rain. All right.
Yeah, I guess not. Some drivers just electing not to qualify here in the rain. Unfortunately, we don't really have much to say in terms of the weather report for the race. So I'm. Oh, El Bigo has a quali ban. Okay, so that makes
Oh,
a bit more
yes.
sense as to why he's not qualifying this time around. But let's see, we're
I
on. Oh,
totally
go on
forgot about
ahead.
that.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that too. As we're riding on board with Gexy on his out lap, has a bit of a wiggle there on the out lap, but that's not the end of the world. But hopefully, he can get the tire temps under control in time to start his flying lap in probably just a few moments now, as he's just getting through sector 3. Let's
Warming
take
up
a
those tires.
Yeah, warming up those tires, and I do expect a strong showing from Gexy in that Alfa Romeo car. He is the championship leader, albeit just the championship leader. It looks like there's a 3-point gap between himself and Vito. So I'm excited to see these two battling it out again this week, and to see who can
Absolutely.
maybe take that top spot in the Drivers' Championship after, after, what is it, 33 laps around Spain, if I remember correctly?
Yes, it is. It's going to be 33 grueling laps. Track limits here are not forgiven.
Oh
You can
no.
take a penalty. Just you think you've made the corner perfect, and you see at the top of your screen that you've been handed 3 seconds. It's increasingly frustrating lap after lap, especially when the tires start to get older. This track, depending on what we're looking at for conditions during the race, it will beat your tires. So a lot of drivers maybe two-stop here, maybe soft, medium, or try the one-stop with a medium to hard. But seeing in the chat
Yeah,
that
it's
the race will be dry, so
The race will be dry. Okay, so qualifying might not mean too much here, other than just battling out for starting position on the grid. But at least the tire choice won't matter too much. Everyone will get free tire choice, so that'll make things very interesting with the strategy. I know if you're starting on the mediums, they like to go medium to hard, or at least the game does. But personally speaking, at least in my experience with the Tier 3 race, the hards really weren't that amazing. I don't know if you
no.
got to experience them yourself, but personally, I wasn't a fan.
Oh yeah, no, I experienced that. Noticed in the practice race yesterday as well, and in the Tier 3 race today, it just feels like the hards they just never find the optimal temperature, and they just feel greasy, and you just can't find the grip. And especially troubled corner is turn 2, as we see Gexy go through it. Turn 2, if you didn't get on the traction right, or you got it wrong, you were just going around just like that on the hards. So they take a while to. They will last a while. They'll get you to the end of the race, but is it worth struggling that entire time with the compound where you could just go medium, soft, or medium, soft, depending on how you race and what you can do with the tires?
Oh yeah, and I would honestly think, given at least my personal view on the performance of the hard tires, it might actually even be quicker to do that two-stop. As you mentioned, Gexy crossed the line. It looks like a Crooksy now is sitting in provisional pole in that Ferrari car. I believe he is a reserve here for Tier 2. I'm not really remembering his name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but solid showing from him there, sitting a 127, nearly a 127 flat. And Vito looks like he just crossed the line to take that provisional second place with a 127.1. So all
Even these guys in qualifying are neck and neck. Even in the points, these guys are wonderful season from these two.
Oh yeah, and already before the race even starts, we're seeing Vito and Gexy going at it very close together. As we only have 5 drivers who've set times, but I guess the bulk of them are probably running flying laps at the moment. Let's see, who can we find that's coming close to a lap?
Just want to remind everybody, a few drivers. Crooksy is a reserve driver, the Maverick a reserve. Damn Spin YT, that's actually Damsy's changed his name. Probably again, we'll remind you, is Alex Juh. Crago is a reserve, Catastrophic as a reserve. So, familiar faces and different faces.
Yep, and it looks like, from what I can see...
Place grid penalty.
Oh no!
Driver Mike with the collision with Jordan.
Oh no, I didn't quite get to see Ivory Brand Mike on the outlap. It looks like there was a bit of an issue after right around the beginning of the third sector, after I guess after that DRS straight. I'm not too sure quite what happened. In the wet conditions, it's easy to lose the back end, so maybe just losing a back end, accidental contact, and I know in qualifying, the game is very unforgiving with that accidental contact, especially if you're impeding somebody on a lap. But I guess Ivory Brain Mike is going to have to live with that. Thankfully, it is a long race for him, so he'll have loads of laps to catch up to the rest of the field, and we'll see what he can do come race time. Speaking of the yellow flag, there's another yellow flag right around that same area there. So it looks like lots of drivers are struggling around these slower speed corners here in qualifying. Thankfully, the race is going to be dry, as we mentioned, so we won't have to worry too much about, I guess, the similar issues with the wet conditions there. Because if so, I'd be a little bit worried for some of these drivers.
Absolutely. Just trying to.
But let's see. It looks like Cooksey had improved his time, but it was beaten very quickly right after by the Mercedes car of Cruz, setting a 126.899. So he takes pole position, but AJ Wuhan swoops right in and takes a 126, sets a 126.2, and he takes provisional pole now with about just under 10 minutes to go now in qualifying.
Wow, what a lap!
So now, seeing these times, are we going to see 125s now by the end of qualifying? Because there's still 10 minutes to go. Lots of time for track evolution, even in the wet conditions.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll see the track dry up, but...
No, I wouldn't think the track will dry up at this point. It looks like the rain is still coming down relatively hard still, at least from what I can see here with the onboard, as can take a view for those at home. So no, I think the rain is going to stick around for the rest of qualifying, but we'll see if the times will improve as the track oh my goodness, I'm forgetting my words here today.
That's alright. Oh, Cruz trying to avoid everyone's off in the gravel.
Yep, letting everybody down. I think he's probably on an in lap now after going 2 laps on those intermediate tires. Let's see, right on board with Catastrophic in that Red Bull. One of the few drivers who hasn't set a time just yet, but I believe he's on a flying lap now, so we'll see what he can do, because if he doesn't set a time, it looks like he's going to be starting from last on the grid. Thankfully, he wasn't impeded too much by Cruz, just letting everybody by. But we'll see what kind of time he can set as he's going through this third sector now. It is a very tricky sector, especially in the wets, to keep the grip, but it looks like he's able to keep it under control. Coming around the last chicane now, as we'll get a bit of an upgrade view from the one the game was giving us there. Coming through the last corner, almost looked like he lost it there, but is able to keep it together. Good enough for P14, 128.9, so definitely some improvement he can find, but normally, even personally, I find on the intermediate tires, I prefer to go, I don't like to just do 1 lap, I like to do maybe 2, 3, even 4 laps, just to kind of get the feel of the tires. just because it takes much longer to find that optimal temperature range, I find.
Absolutely. And who's yet to, who hasn't? So, I remember Mike's the only one who hasn't set a time, and
Yep,
obviously
I'm
Albiku as well.
riding with them now. As I do see, it looks like there's a Haas that might be a synchro that had a bit of looks like maybe a little bit of understeer in the third sector. Just from what I saw, there was a little bit of a yellow flag there. So that third sector causing issues, it seems, through this whole qualifying up until now for a lot of drivers. I wonder how many laps it's impeded so far, and I wonder if this is going to be something we're going to see continue even in the dry conditions of the race.
We should be in for something special today. As we saw earlier, it was quite a good race in Tier 3. Tier 2 looking to match that.
Oh yeah, definitely look at the match, the intensity, and if Tier 3 is anything to go about it, we haven't spoken about it just yet. I always like to bring it up. There is the inevitable possibility of a safety car, especially early on with, I guess, with the way the track is designed with Turn 1. We've already seen, I think, at least 2 incidents in the Tier 3 race, so hopefully the Tier 2 drivers have learned a thing or two as to how to maneuver it, but, come lap 1, turn 2, anything can happen. As Ivory Brian Mike, he crossed the line and, for P12, but loses it shortly afterwards, after the I believe the third turn there. Probably took a bit of wing damage. Yeah, definitely did. So he's gonna have to crawl his way back into the pits in these wet conditions.
Yeah, and with that 5-second grid penalty, 12th is just essentially going to drop him back to the rear of the field here. So he's going to have to get back and improve that lap to just have a fighting chance off the start.
Oh yeah,
a lot of great things we should expect at the start. This has a very long run down into turn 1, so if you can get the start and get the slipstream, you can see shuffling 3-4 wide into turn 1. It's going to be a spicy start as we've seen before. So.
Yep, and honestly, I didn't even notice in the timing. He's in the pits now, but Nathan JB set a 126.5, not quite fast enough for pole, but that does put him up into a nice provisional P2 with 5 minutes to go in qualifying. So nice lap from Nathan, and maybe he can even take the battle to the likes of Vito and even Gexy now, who's fallen all the way down into P8. So he's going to want to better his time. Looks like he's on a decent lap, I would think, as he's coming through the last sector, so we'll actually ride with him for the time being. Never mind, as he decides he wants to go into the pits instead.
Vito is on a hot lap right now as we speak, going down.
Alright, so let's actually jump to Vito. Just started his hot lap. Looked like there was some yellow flags in the second sector, probably just some drivers letting others through, maybe a little bit of, the losing out in the back end. I'm not too sure, but either way, we'll see if Vito can improve his time. 126.5 is his time to beat. Ideally, in a perfect world, he probably wants to set something quicker than a 126.2, but we'll see if he can get that done in reality here.
A decent lap for him so far.
Yeah, decent lap, and I think lots of drivers are now going to start getting on their last few laps now, because we're down to less than 4 minutes to go now, so...
2.5 tenths up on his best, so that's good enough for P2. He can cross the line with that.
Yep, as long as he can keep it, and you can definitely make or break a lap here in this third sector. Looks like he's taken some good lines through the, at least through the last few corners here. We'll see if he can keep the traction going out of the final turn, crosses the line, and actually it is quick enough for pole. And that's a 126.237, so just barely beating AJ Wuhan's time of a 126.264.
And Nathan's coming out for his hot lap. AJ Wuhan, you might expect, says on our screen, 3 minutes left.
Yep,
well.
Yep, Gexy on an out lap. I'm riding with Cruz now. He's sitting in 4th. It looks like he is on a flying lap from what I can see. So we'll see if he can better that time. Maybe get past Nathan, and maybe even set a pole position time. We'll have to see as he's coming through the third sector now. As Synchro, he retires, so I believe he's probably happy with his near 127 flat, as he just recently gets bumped down to P7 now.
Cruz can pull through here.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. Oh, he's aborted the lap time going into the pits, so definitely won't improve now. As it stands now, with just over 2 minutes to go in qualifying, Vito on pole, AJ Wuhan in second, and Nathan JB rounding out the top three. But still, lots of qualifying to go now. With now that we're down to the last 2 minutes, is where we're going to see the true pace of a lot of these drivers on the wet conditions.
As Catastrophic will start his lap right behind him. iRacing Mike's on a hot lap as well. Not sure if they're too close to that dirty air disturb each other's, or well, mostly for iRacing Mike with Catastrophic. Chris, I believe, is also coming around for his lap.
Yep, and
Gexy,
yep, Gexy just started his
9/100th through this first sector.
Okay, I think he's just getting through now. We'll see. I'll jump on him in just a bit. I want to see what iRacing Mike can do. He does have that 5-place grid penalty, so he definitely wants to get a move on instead of very fast lap, I would think. Hopefully he doesn't get impeded too much by the Renault. That looks like he's moving out of the way. I'm not too sure if that's Bumblebee or if that's Cargo there, but it looks like he hasn't been impeded too much from what I can see. Now, as he's coming through this third sector now, we'll see if he can take a decent line through the last chicane. It is a little bit trickier than what it initially looks like to get a decent line, but it looks like he maneuvers it. Okay, maybe a little bit too much curb. Thought it wasn't too bad, but we'll see. Crosses the line, improves by 1 spot, sets a 127.8, but still not ideal for him given that 5-place grid penalty. Well, jump to Gexy now as he's just about to finish his lap. There he goes. He shows up now. What's it going to be? Good enough for P5. Only 5th for Gexy. 126.9. So in the battle between Gexy and Vito for the championship lead, definitely advantage Vito now early on in this session around Spain. As we're coming down to the dying seconds of qualifying. So let's see, who else is on a lap? I think
Wuhan, Nathan Cruz is on his out lap.
Yep, so let's see. Actually, AJ Wuhan, just coming around nearing sector 3 here. So I'm going to actually keep an eye on him and see if he can actually beat Vito's time and take that pole position back. It's saying Vito is on an out lap, but I don't think he had enough time to cross the line and start a flying lap. But I have been wrong before. But let's see. What's AJ Wuhan going to do as he's coming down this start-finish straight now, crosses the line, and it is good enough. He does reach into the 125s, albeit just with a 125.971. Let's see. Nathan crosses the line, and he sets a 125.895. So just as quickly as the pole position came for AJ, it left in the hands of Nathan, who is now sitting on provisional pole.
Vito just got a lap in, but he's going to have the 2 cars of...
Yeah, on the in lap. Yeah, and Cooksey crossed the line as well, and he's good enough for 3rd now with a 126.2. So Vito now, he's bumped all the way down to 4th. And Gexy is all the way back down into 8th spot now. So exciting times now. Oh my goodness, at the end of qualifying, especially since we're going to see a dry race, so we won't necessarily get as much uncertainty, or maybe a driver that can, that can perform on the wet conditions as Cruz crosses the line, and it looks like he's going to be in a provisional P5 now. So we're just waiting for everybody else to finish their times. But I want to keep an eye on Vito. Let's give an onboard.
Vito's down on his time by 9/100th, so he's got to improve in the final sector here.
Yeah, he's got to improve. Yeah, I think the traffic has definitely hindered him here.
Oh Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, you can definitely see it with the onboard.
And
That's
that's
contact.
just...
And that's it. That's right there.
Yeah, Vito just... There's nothing he can do. You got to feel for him there. I
Yeah,
don't know if
definitely.
he was going to improve there. The traffic really played a factor there. I don't know if catastrophic is... Yeah, catastrophic. There's nothing Kata could have done. He's in AI as he's already finished his qualifying. So that's not a catastrophic. That's just the game.
No, and that's the thing. I think even like Nathan and Catastrophic, since they had the AIs, the AI was just doing what the AI does. It's just for Vito, unfortunately, he ended up catching up to them at probably the worst possible time. But it looks like on that note, that's pretty much going to do it now for qualifying, as I think everybody's pretty much done. So Nathan JB in that McLaren car, going to be starting in provisional, he's going to be starting not in provisional pole, on pole position with a blistering fast time of a 125.8. AJ Wuhan starting in second in that Williams car, and Crooksey is going to be rounding out the top three for the start of the race.
Very interested to see what people start. Is the majority going to go on medium? Is someone going to try and take advantage and get the track position, assuming a safety car will bring an end to their soft tire stint? We don't know. And there you see there is Everbin Mike handed the 5-place grid penalty.
Yep. So we've ran through the top three. We've got Nathan, AJ Wuhan, and Crooksey there, respectively. Vito in fourth, Cruz in fifth. Crago in sixth. Ivory Brian Mike finished P7, but he does have that 5-position penalty for him. Gexy finishing in eighth, and that's followed by Jordan and Synchro to round out the top 10 on track. Dam Spin YouTube in 11th, Chris in 12th, Catastrophic in 13th, Bumblebee in 14th, Maverick in 15th, and Elbiku in 16th, not setting a time due to that qualifying ban he received at the end of last race. And that's the grid, and we'll get to see now if anybody's joined in, if anybody was able to get in to fill the last few spots in time for the start of the race. And yeah, it's looking pretty clear, at least at the time of race start. But we'll see. I'm curious to see what the drivers are going to be selecting in terms of tires. Are we going to see mediums? Yes. Are we going to see softs? Are we going to see some drivers maybe going bold, looking to start on the hard tires even, and maybe go long on their initial stint? Yeah, it could be a long shot. I mean, if you're predicting any form of a safety car, maybe not the best idea. But if you trust that everyone's going to be able to keep it clean, then it might not be a bad idea. Kind of just getting off of the, you won't be impeded into the pits. You're sort of on the off strategy. But we will see soon enough, as we're just waiting to load in for the formation lap. I'm seeing lots of medium tires, at least early on. Now let's take a peek as we're
first in the softs.
Yeah, going to be going around. So yeah, Vito in fourth, starting on the soft. So he's going to want to get that initial pace. Let's take a look here. That
Maverick on the hards and Elbiku on the softs. Only 2 drivers. All but 3 drivers have opted to go on the medium tire.
Yep, and there we go. We have it.
Maverick on the hards and Elbiku and Vito on the softs. So.
Yep, so Vito and Elbiku on the softs. So they're basically now, I believe, probably committing to the 2-stop either way. Now, everybody else pretty much on the medium tires, but yeah, Maverick starting on the hard tires. So as I was saying, I guess he's trusting, I guess he's either trusting the drivers to be clean around him, hoping for no safety car, or maybe just gonna do sort of what we saw in the actual Grand Prix with Gasly, just stick to the strategy regardless of what happens. And who was that going in the dirt? Is that catastrophic? Yeah, that was catastrophic. Having a bit of a, I guess you could say, an oopsie on the formation lap, going into the dirt. So that's not going to help him at all, because that's definitely going to hinder the tires, I would think, for the start of the Grand Prix. Let's see. So we've got the stop strategy here. So it's saying medium to hards if you're starting on the mediums, or 2-stop soft mediums if you are starting on the softs. Now I'm curious as to what the game is going to say if you're starting on the hard tires. I don't even know if we do have an Amazon or an AWS insight for that, to be
Well, you'd have
completely
to
honest
imagine
with
it would
you.
be hard to medium, perhaps. Here's the
Must
thing,
be.
too. If we have many safety cars and VSCs, and these drivers have all those soft tires and medium tires that they never got to use in qualifying due to the fact that we had a rained-out session, so we see Vito going immediately. Vito's going to have the pace at the start to potentially get by these guys and put himself in position in case there is a safety car, so...
Yeah, he might just. Let's take a look as we're getting the lights. 5 lights now, and they're off, but they weren't the actual lights, as we're still waiting now for the drivers to actually take off. Still waiting. And there we go. We're off for real now. As let's take a look at the starts. There we go. We got the nice view. Decent start by Nathan. The 2 Ferraris side by side, and Cruz trying to get by on the inside now. They're going side by side. Looks like it's pretty clean going through the first few corners. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. But Vito already up into second early on. What a start by Vito, and what a start by Cruz too, who's now being battled by the likes of Crooksy, who's going down the inside. Nice little switchback there for him, but they're still side by side now. AJ Wuhan falling down 3 spots down to 5th, and he's being pressured now by Cargo very early on now in this race. But Nathan JB still in first, but followed by Vito, who got a very hot start on those soft tires, so definitely paying off for him, at least early on. And Cruz even getting a very nice start, going down the inside of turn 1, and that definitely helped him out, as he's now in third. But he's gonna have to watch out, because Crooksy very close by, looking to take that third spot back. But definitely AJ Wuhan not the best start for him. And look at Damsey already up 3 spots, up into 7th in those medium tires. So a pretty good start from him. As let's take a look what's going on here. Crooksy just doesn't have the straight line speed, it seems, as he actually loses more spots now to Damsey and Gexy. And what's going on here is, oh, side by side with Vito and Nathan. Let's keep an eye on this as they're going through the first 2 turns now. Nathan looks like he's just getting... Boys. Yep, it's a long race. They're still side by side. We got a yellow flag in sector 1. Is that Catastrophic, I think, who's out in last? I want to tune to that. I think I might just be able to quickly. Yeah, let's take a look. No wing damage, so maybe just a bit of a spin for him. But I'm gonna jump back to that battle for the lead, because I think Vito definitely wants to get by sooner rather than later, so he can take to the clean air in those soft tires.
These first few laps are important for Nathan. He's got to absolutely push to get ahead by a second before DRS is activated, or else he's going to be a sit duck to Vito. He's on brand new soft.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
He has to push. He shouldn't be saving. He should be pushing.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna have to. And I'm taking a look. It looks like Crooksy is practically pushing Damsey around this track in the 3rd sector. So very, very close here in the midfield battle. And if you take a look at the gaps, 0.3, 0.2, they're all within a second of one another. So nobody's really getting away, at least early on here in the race, other than, I guess you could say, the top 3 to the rest of the grid. And Crooksy, is he able to make the move? No, he can't. He's just stuck behind Damsey still, so he's gonna have to do another lap in 7th. Elbiku also trying to get a move on those soft tires, getting right behind Ivory Brian Mike, but Elbiku is gonna have to make a move sooner rather than later, just because Ivory Brian Mike is there's a gap that's starting to form now between him and Crago in 10th. So if Elbiko's stuck battling for too long, he might lose out on his chance.
Yeah, same goes for Vito. If he stays, he's got to... It's the opposite effect for what I said about Nathan. Vito's got to get by him, or else the strategy call and this risk, this gamble, rolling the dice with the softs, he's got to get by Nathan to get in clean air, because all the while he's just burning up those softs, and we know how softs are around Spain.
Oh, yeah.
Have the life he needs to get past, because it's pushing him into the grasps of Cruz, and then AJ Wuhan sitting right behind. So if those tires start to go off a cliff,
yeah, and I do believe,
he's gonna be screwed.
Yeah, but I do believe, though, at least for now, from what I can see, Nathan might be at a bit of an advantage. He just set the fastest lap, just as I say that. He's got more ERS than Vito, who's using a lot of his ERS early on, just trying to keep up with Nathan, as actually Chris and Jordan, Chris is just able to make the move going down the straight. Elbiku can finally pass Ivory Bride Mike, so he can get moving to try to keep up with Craigo, but I say that, but Ivory Bride Mike comes right back down the inside, as we've got a nice little side-by-side battle between the Haas and the Racing Point car. It looks like Elbiku is just able to eke out the spot, at least for the time being, and there we go. I think that was Ivory Bride Mike with the lockup, but no, he's still, oh, well, never mind. Elbiku is able to make that move stick finally, for the time being. So he's up into 11th, and he's going to have to close the gap on Craigo, who he himself is right behind Jordan. Let's take a look. Damsey right up in battling with Gexy. They're side by side now too, as they're going through this third sector. Very, very close. But it looks like Damsey is able to get the better of Gexy for the time being. He goes up into 5th. Now, I do have to say, Damsey looks like he's feeling really comfortable around the Spanish Grand Prix this week. I'm very impressed with the way he's driven, at least early on in this race, on those medium tires. Now let's see, where did he start? Let's take a look here. No, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. So yeah, Damsey already up 5 spots from where he started in this race on the medium tires. So very good start from him, and hopefully he can keep that up for the rest of the race. Now Crooksy, he's trying to put some pressure on Gexy too now for that 6th. So I'm not too sure actually what's going on with Gexy around this track. Maybe a little bit of tire conservation for him, or maybe he's just struggling. I'm not too sure, but not really where we expect to see Gexy all the way down in 6th when his biggest competitor Vito is battling for the lead with Nathan. But at least for the time being, Nathan
there as well. Cruz just sitting, waiting, biding his time.
Yeah, Cruz biding his time. He's not trying to get too involved in the battle, but I think he knows that Vito's on the soft tires. I think he knows Vito's gonna have to pit before he does. So I don't think he really wants to battle Vito all that much. I would think if Vito can get past Nathan, then it might be a bit of a different story, just because they're both on similar tires. But
Vito just doesn't have enough to get by, and Nathan not even using his ERS down the main straight.
That's the thing. Nathan just has
stuck
so much straight line speed, as well, Gexy and Crooksy, they're battling it out once again. It looks like Crooksy is able to keep that spot from Gexy but looks like Gexy coming down the inside, gets some nice traction. Let's take a look. They are side by side now, and Gexy just able to squeeze through and get that 6th spot back, but they've been battling very hard one another, seems like for the last 2 laps. Now Elbiku, he's actually been able to catch up to Craigo too, so he's going to try to get past him and go up into 10th. And I just noticed their Cruz actually taking a 3-second penalty for track violations, I believe. So that'll be added to his time at the end of the race. But now it looks like Nathan is starting to create at least a tiny little bit of a gap to Vito now. So I feel like Vito's soft tires might be starting to wear out, maybe a little bit quicker than what he was expecting.
Yeah, he's going to be a sit and duck for Cruz. AJ Wuhan and Damsey not changing spots, but keeping it close between the Williams teammates.
Yeah, they're keeping it close, probably
5
looking...
cars. It's just so close together. Great racing from them.
Oh yeah, and they're probably looking to, they're probably not looking to hinder each other's race. Now, Ivory Bright Mike, he's able to catch back up to Elbiku. So it seems like now, here on the end of lap 6, lap 7, it seems like it's now advantage to the medium tire drivers and less to the soft tires. I think the softs are starting to hit the cliff a little bit, and because they're seeing Elbiku feel it. Now Vito, the gap is now up to over a second, so he won't even have DRS anymore on Nathan in his battle, and he's gonna probably have to shift more into watching out for Cruz, who's right up behind him on the better tire now.
And crucially, Vito has no ERS saved. As he's been trying to get by Nathan, it's just he shot his shot, but I believe he's missed.
Yeah, I think his strategy, his plan was to try to get past Nathan early on within the first, maybe hopefully within the first two laps, and then just try to control the race from there. But that didn't work out for him, unfortunately. So he's gonna have to really now think of a new strategy on the fly and try to adapt it to now his current situation after being unable to make the move. El Biku, he's the first to dive into the pits. He's getting off those soft tires. He's probably feeling the struggle, and he felt it was time to get on a different set.
Go down the inside of Jordan. They touch. Ooh.
Oh, let's take a look actually at this, because Craigo coming right back at Jordan.
Jordan touches a bit of curb, gets the grass, swings out wide. Ooh.
Tiny little bit of contact there. Are they going to think about going side by side? Oh yeah, Craigo does go into the grass there a little bit too. It looks like Jordan is able to keep that spot, but only just. But now Craigo's going to have to watch out for Ivory Brine Mike too, who's getting very close by behind him. And probably similar to Cruz, just buying his time before he can make the move.
What fantastic racing we have so far.
Yeah, we've got some great racing. It's hard to keep track because we've got a few different battles going on track. And there we go. We'll take the onboard to Craigo quickly if we're getting this wonderful view.
Behind Ivory Mike and Bumblebee. Right behind him, in front of him.
Yeah,
Jordan.
It's a nice little 4-car battle we have going on here from 9th all the way. And there we go. Vito, he's going into the pits. He's getting off those soft tires and he's going on the hard tires. So he's going to try to go probably to the end of the race now. But he's fallen all the way down to 12th. Just keep an eye. Damsey is making the move on AJ Wuhan. They're actually side by side. The teammates are going side by side for the Williams. And it looks like Damsey is able to keep that, take that 3rd spot. So once again, Damsey just trekking his way up the field. And he's showing no signs of stopping now here in 3rd. And he's going to try to close the gap up to Cruz. But now all eyes are on Nathan. Now the Vito pit, he's got a comfortable 2-second lead to Cruz now in that 1st spot. There's still lots of racing to go, but you're very happy with where you are if you're Nathan in that McLaren car.
Absolutely. Oh, on the
outside,
Gexy tries to take Gexy.
Yep, battling it out once again. They're going side by side. You don't see that too often around there in that 3rd sector. Nobody's willing to give any room to one another. They're still going side by side. It looks like Gexy went a little bit wide, but he comes right back. Oh my goodness, that was almost half a lap there as they were still battling it out now as they're going down the start-finish. Let's ride with Gexy. It looks like he is able to make the move with the DRS, but
look how far AJ Wuhan and Damsey pulled away just because they were side by side for 1 sector. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, but now Crooksy, he's not going to let up. He's going to try to get that spot right back, I think, because he's still staying very, very close to Gexy. Now Ivory by Mike, he's able to make the move just on Jordan there going into the 1st turn. Let's take a look. The Renaults are battling it out. I think that was Craigo who went wide. So he lost out to his teammate, and he's also losing out to Synchro. So Craigo losing 2 spots for that mistake there. As Synchro actually went wide. There's a little bit of contact there between the Renault and the Haas car, but Craigo is able to come out in 11th, and it looks like both cars are okay in terms of damage. And speaking of, Craigo spins, and there we go. Just as I was talking about the damage, that's definitely some damage there. As now he is just parked. He's got to get moving. What's he waiting for? Well, now he's going to have to wait for the likes of Catastrophic and El Biku to pass. But he had the time. Yep, but very unfortunate for Craigo there, as he falls all the way down to last after that mistake around that turn. But I do have to say, just to defend Craigo a little bit, it's probably one of the harder turns of the circuit in terms of getting some traction. It's gotten a little bit better in this game, but I know, just generally speaking, if you put even just a tiny little bit too much gas into the car, you're going to be losing it, especially if you clip that outside curb.
a massive wing damage. He's going to have to pit.
Yeah.
You see, too, as well, catastrophic. Nope, sorry, Vito, all the way down in 12th.
Yeah, but he's on the hard tire, so he's probably going for the long con strategy. He's going to want to try to probably make a little bit of moves now, but everybody in front of Vito will have to pit on the will have to pit again at some point in this race. So they're all just on the medium tires, and if there is one thing that's going Vito's way is that the gaps aren't really too crazy.
Catastrophic and Albiku side by side.
Yeah, let's take a look. They're battling it out there, albeit for P14, but it's still very important points for the championship. Looks like Albiku is able to get the better of Catastrophic. But, yeah, Catastrophic going a little bit wide there on the exit of that turn, so that's going to hinder him a tiny little bit. But Albiku definitely won't complain about that. Now let's take a look. Oh, Damsey and AJ Wuhan, they're still battling it out. But they're going to have to watch out because now they've got the likes of Gexy and Crooksy basically right behind them. So they might want to focus less on battling amongst each other and maybe working as a team so they can get both those Williams cars caught up to the likes of Cruz and Nathan to maybe try to, get a Williams double podium.
Absolutely. Cruz isn't gaining any ground on Nathan. Nathan's just slowly edging a gap.
Yep, Nathan is controlling the gap very, very well, it seems, at least early on in this race. But we'll see what happens come the pit stops.
Craigo in danger of going a lap down, but he's on the soft, so I think he'll be all right.
Yep, he should be all right, although Nathan is coming very, very quickly here. And oh my goodness, Gexy and Crooksy, they're side by side once again. How many times have I said it this race already, only on lap 12, as they're still not giving each other any room in that third sector. It almost looks like there's a bit of contact there, but it looks like Gexy is able to get the better of Crooksy for the time being. But Crooksy does have the DRS. A little bit of a wiggle between the two cars. What is going on there? What is going on with Gexy losing losing it to the aerodynamics of the car? They're still going to go side by side now through the first turn. Gexy is able to keep that spot, but Crooksy down the inside. Who's going to take it? Is it going to be Gexy? Is it going to be Crooksy? And it does look like it's going to be Gexy once again holding on to that fifth spot. But now, between all of that battling, the two Williams cars have now grown a 1.5 second gap. So they're happy, but they have to now make sure that they're not going to battle amongst each other because that gap can close down very, very quickly.
Gexy has to understand right now that this is not his fight. Gexy needs to see that he is a championship leader. And Crooksy is a reserve driver. Just let him go. You don't need to risk
that's the thing.
Right,
it's a long race, and if depending on what's going on, if you're Gexy, you can probably just DRS train with Crooksy and just try to catch up again to the Williams and try to put the pressure on them. But oh, we've got a yellow flag now. Is that who is that?
Craigo?
No, that's not even Craigo. That was Bumblebee. That's right around the same spot that I think we saw Catastrophic. Oh my goodness, going way wide there. Did he actually take
a lot of wing damage?
Yo, he's got some wing damage. Yep. So once again on that left-hander that we're about to see Catastrophic go through right here. If you clip that curb too much, you're gonna have a bad time, and I think that's exactly what happened. Yep, Wuhan going into the pits. He's getting off those medium tires, going on the hard tires. So at least that's good news for Damn Spin YouTube, as now he gets a little bit of clean air and he's not stuck battling his teammate. So actually, maybe a bit of a tactical move by the Williams team to separate those two drivers on track.
Gexy as well. Crooksy can set his sights on catching Damsey. Does Cruz go for an undercut here? I don't know how well the undercut would work with those hard tires, though. It's just...
Well, yeah.
There's no way around it. They're bad.
Well, that's the thing. But now the gaps are starting to form a little bit more, too, compared to how it was, as recent as 2 laps ago, where everyone was close by. So if we're going in, oh, well, there we go. Speaking of,
there they go.
yeah, damn spin going into the pits. It looks like all the top runners except for Cruz have decided to go into the pits. Nathan going on the hard tires.
Maybe going for an overcut.
Maybe, but we'll see. But there we go. We've got Cruz now in the lead as he's going to try to push and open up that gap. Now look at that. Vito all the back up into second, but he's got Synchro right behind him. He's staying out for at least another lap. So it looks like pitting early off those softs did work out for Vito for the time being. But now Nathan.
I don't think those hards will take them all the way to the end. They've been on. You're asking those hards to do 23 laps. I just don't know about that one.
Yeah, but it's only well, at the same time, when you look at the hards, it might be a bit of a difference later on in the race. But they're only 5 laps older. Sorry, than the likes of Nathan, Damn Spin, AJ Wuhan, and even Gexy, who just recently pit this lap.
We'll see. If
we'll
anybody
see.
can do it, it's Vito.
Well, that's the thing. And now what Vito needs to do now is make sure that he's not stuck battling with the likes of Synchro and just really try to push as much as he can to create that gap between himself and Nathan, who's in 4th and can actually probably have his sights on Vito, knowing that Synchro's probably going to be pitting within the next lap or two. Speaking of pitting, Cruz, he goes into the pits a lap later than the rest. So we'll see. He's trying the overcut. It didn't quite work out for him as he's going to be coming back out in 3rd.
Oh, that's hurt. Cruz.
Yeah, and potentially even closer to 4th. Yeah, so the overcut didn't work out for Cruz, but meanwhile the undercut worked very well for Vito. And now look at that. We've got the Williams back together once again for P5 and P6 with AJ Wuhan less than a second behind his teammate. And look at that. We've got the Mercedes and the Williams going 2x2 for 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Maverick yet to pit. He's the only one who hasn't hit yet.
Yeah, but he's probably going long as we had discussed earlier on. He's got probably maybe another 3 to 5 laps on those hard tires, I would think.
And if we were to have a safety car right now, that would change the complexion of
Oh, that would 100% change the 100% change the way the race, that's for sure. But we'll see. We're riding with Elbiku because he's right up behind Chris. Elbiku, he's on the 7-lap old hard tires, but he's probably got the right temperature in them, getting very right around that optimal the optimal usage. Compared to the likes of Chris, who's still probably trying to warm up his tires. So we'll see if Elbiku can make the move going down the start-finish straight here to go up into 9th. He's got the DRS to do so, but it looks like he might just be a little bit too far to make it stick. Yes, he is a little bit too far, so he's going to settle for the 10th still for that time being. But it looks like Ivory Brian Mike is catching up, but who is this? That's the Maverick and Damn Spin YouTube battling it out. The Maverick definitely feeling the tire wear on those hard tires as he actually gets overtaken by both Williams cars very easily now, and he falls down into 6th with Damsey and AJ Wuhan going up to 4th and 5th respectively. Catastrophic going into the pits again as he's finishing his race now. So no points for Catastrophic in that Red Bull car. So a bit of a disappointing weekend for him and the Red Bull team as a whole. Actually, just come to realize it.
Actually, reserve.
Yep. So he is a reserve. Okay. So maybe not the points in the constructors, but even it's a tough race weekend for Catastrophic, and hopefully he can bounce back next weekend. Now let's see, Crooksy even now going for a move on Maverick. We've got a yellow. Oh, well, that's just for that was just for Catastrophic. But Crooksy is able to make the move very easily on Maverick. As what was that? AJ Wuhan. What happened there? As think there might have been a bit of a battle between the likes of Damsey and AJ Wuhan. AJ Wuhan getting the worst of it because now Cooksey is right up side by side with them as he's going down the inside. There's a yellow. Well, it's probably. Oh my goodness, this yellow flag for catastrophic is really throwing me off, I have to say. But if we're looking back at the action, they're still going side by side. AJ Wuhan and Crooksey. Who's going to get the better of it? It looks like it is AJ Wuhan for now. But Crooksey now, he's going to have the DRS. And AJ Wuhan actually doesn't. At least from what I can see. And Crooksey is able to make the move relatively easily. But AJ Wuhan not looking to give that spot up just yet. But he is going to have to. Because if he doesn't, he's going to have to watch out for Maverick, who's right up behind him, looking to catch back up after falling a few spots earlier in the lap.
Not even using any of his ERS. Full battery.
Who's that?
That's the Maverick. Has
Maverick.
Hasn't pushed those hards whatsoever.
Yeah, so he might want to get pushing a little bit. Maybe he's trying to go a hard to soft. So really working on the tire wear.
That'd be an all-time strategy, but
yeah, it would be a crazy strategy. But at this point, if he's losing out on so many spots just on track position, and gonna have to pit afterwards, it might not work out for him too much. As Cruz takes another 3-second time penalty, I think that's the second one he's taken so far. So definitely not ideal for him. As now, Damn Spin YouTube who is quite literally just over 6 seconds behind.
Vito maintaining a 2-second gap to Nathan out front, so
yep, doing a very good job on those hard tires.
See the Ferrari driver ahead, but just can't gain any ground.
Yeah, so Vito doing a very good job just managing the gap to Nathan on those hard tires, and trying to make sure that he can hold on to that first spot for as long as he can. Now I'm still keeping an eye on Crooksey, because Crooksey seems to have found some pace on those hard tires, as he's right up behind Damn Spin for that fourth, and we'll see, can he make the move with the DRS? It's very, very close. Damn Spin giving him just the amount of room that he is entitled to, but it doesn't matter because actually they're gonna go side by side through the first turn. They're very, very close to one another. They've got the elbows out. It looks like Crooksey has the better line down the inside. But Damn Spin just getting the traction there, and he's able to make the move. And what happened there? That's El Biku, I think. As he went off the track. No wing damage for him, from what I can see, so he can just continue onwards. Just some issues with the tires, probably for the time being. But that could have been much worse than what it was. But El Biku falling back down to 12th now after that. After that incident going around the second turn there. But let's jump back to Crooksey, as he's still putting the pressure on Damn Spin. Not going to try a move down this back straight just yet. Maybe going to try it down the start-finish straight. But he's going to have to watch out for AJ Wuhan, who's right behind him. And if they're not careful, the likes of Gexy and the Maverick are going to close up once again on them.
Craigo into the pits again. He's going to be lapped by the leaders here.
Yeah, Craigo going into the pits, so not the best race for Craigo, I have to say, this weekend in that Renault car. Now, let's take a look at this. Crooksey goes and thinks about making a move, but so did AJ Wuhan. But at the end of the day, Damn Spin YouTube is still able to hold on to that fourth. Crooksey in 5th, AJ Wuhan in 6th, and it looks like that's going to be, that's the way it's going to be, at least for the time being. So let's take a look. Ivory Bride Mike. Oh, nope. They're already past the start-finish straight. Ivory Bride Mike trying to catch up to Chris for that 9th spot. They're chasing it down. Not much of a tire advantage there. They're both on the same tires. So it's purely up to pace in that battle. But Crooksey and Damn Spin YouTube still the closest gap on the field. So still going to keep an eye on that. Let's ride on board with Crooksey, as he probably had some DRS, opting not to try a move down that back straight. Probably going to try it down the start-finish straight once again, keeping that gap to 3/10. Now, I've been keeping an eye.
A lot of ERS to play with as well for defense.
Yeah,
just gets the drive out of the final 2 corners. He's been able to do it before.
Yeah, as long as he can get the pace.
Not even to use his battery.
Yep, not using the battery. Crooksy, he has the
There it is.
DRS. He is
It's too late.
closing up. Let's take a look. He's going to go down the inside once again. Damsey has preferred that outside defense line, it has seemed. They're still going side by side once again. Will this end the same way it has every other lap, or will it end in a different way? It looks like for now it's going to end in similar fashion for the likes of Damsey and Crooksy, with Damsey still coming out in 4th, Crooksy in 5th, and AJ Wuhan just buying his time still in 6th, letting Damsey and Crooksy battle for as long as they want. But we're
while Gexy creeping up behind these 3 drivers.
Yeah, that's the thing. The gap is slowly starting to close. Now, I was going to bring this up recently. I've been keeping an eye on the gap to the leader. I do see the gap is closing ever so slowly between Nathan and Vito, very close to DRS range of one another, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that battle very shortly. And as I say that, we might actually get something. So let's actually jump to them quickly. We'll take a break from Crooksy and Damspin YouTube for the time being, but don't worry, we'll get right back to them. Crago sets a fastest lap of a 118.7. Vito's still in the lead. Nathan in 2nd for the time being. Crooksy going for the move. Going on the outside this time around. Had much more time to make the move stick. So it looks like he is able to hold on to that 4th. And that demotes Damspin YouTube down to 5th. And once again in front of his teammates.
That helped Cruz pull away from these 3 as well. Cruz just sitting comfortably.
Yeah, seeing the battle,
just
but
3 seconds off from the lead, but
yeah, but we'll see. He's got the penalties too that he's gonna have to worry about, so definitely helped him out. But we'll see now. Crooksy in that clean air, what can he do? Can he actually get away from the likes of Damspin and maybe challenge Cruz?
Not
but
getting out of the way for Cruz either, just staying on the racing line. I mean, I just.
Yeah, thankfully in the league, yeah, thankfully we do have the ghosting here, so it's not like it's an actual physical car, but it does still get in the way and impedes the view, and finding the braking point. Nathan JB, he actually sets a fastest lap. He's slowly catching up to the likes of Vito. Not gonna make a move just yet here on lap 24, but oh well, what happened there?
Crago retired.
Oh, Crago retired. Okay. And it was Crooksy that set the fastest lap. Yeah, they might be starting to hit the clip. Yeah, because Nathan is starting to close the gap very, very quickly now. It's down to under a second, 7/10 now. But we still have the likes of Damspin, AJ Wuhan trying to catch up to Crooksy. Gexy not having the best race this week, sitting in 7th. And he's not going to be happy seeing Vito in that in 1st. So I feel if you're Gexy, you're probably really hoping for at this point either a safety car, or at the very least hoping for Vito to pit, so he can fall down the order and not take too much of an advantage over Gexy in the Drivers' Championship. But let's see, Nathan actually is getting very close by. I'm actually going to jump back to Nathan because he's right up behind Vito. We might actually see the move be done here down the start-finish straight on this lap. He's got the DRS, so give the onboard closing ever so slowly. He's got the overtake activated. They're going to be going side by side now down this. Oh my goodness, This is what I want. They got very close to one another. But it looks like Vito is able to hold on to the lead for the time being.
What a move by Vito.
Yeah, what a move and what a defense by Vito to keep that spot. And actually, off camera, AJ Wuhan was actually able to overtake Damspin for 5th. So finally, AJ Wuhan is able to take that spot back, and that demotes Damspin down into 6th. So a little, not a bad spot for him, but still a little bit unfortunate given how well he performed earlier here in the race. But for now, all eyes are on the likes of Nathan and Vito. We're here on lap 25 out of 33. So we've got 8 laps to go in the Grand Prix, and this battle for the lead is definitely starting to heat up.
It's all about Nathan waiting for Vito to make a mistake, but
Yep. Now let's actually take a look at the telemetry. Nathan, not too much overtake to work with, but Vito even less overtake to work with, as he's burning a lot of it down this start-finish straight to try to defend against Nathan, who's got the DRS advantage. But for now, Vito is still safe. Now keeping an eye on Damn Spin, as he's very close to his teammate, the likes of Chris and Maverick, but that was Maverick going into the pits, finally getting off those hard tires. Damn Spin, AJ Wuhan, they were going side by side, but it looks like as if Damn Spin is able to keep that spot.
He went around the outside. That's
yeah, but
teammate as well. That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's great to see. They're probably gave a little some more room than what you normally would to the teammates, and that's perfectly fine. But Damn Spin back up into 5th, passing his teammate there. But once again, the gap now to Crooksy is 2 seconds, so they might want to work together in order to try to close up that gap. But let's quickly jump back to Nathan, as the gap was back to half a second and even less than half a second here on lap 26. All right, now we're going back down the start-finish straight, riding with Nathan here. Can he get the move done this time around? Getting very, very close. Vito, very late move to the inside, closes the door a little bit. The inside turns into the outside, but it looks like Vito still has the traction on those slightly more worn hard tires to hold on to that first. And AJ Wuhan and Damsey side by side once again down that first sector. They're just trading it back and forth between each other. Yeah, as you said there. But who's going to take it this time around? It looks like Damn Spin is able to hold on to it. Oh no, AJ... I don't even know who's going to take this spot at the end of the race. It looks like Damn Spin is able to hold on for the time being. Yeah, but Gexy, the gap now down to 1.3 seconds. So he might actually be able to get involved before this race is over in this battle with the Williams. Now, let's take a look here. Back to Nathan now as they're going back through Sector 3. As no, I thought I was going to see a move on AJ Wuhan on his teammate once again, but that wasn't going to happen. But here we go, take 5 or 6 now for the start-finish straight. Vito has created a bit of a gap, but thankfully for Nathan, he still has the DRS. But at this point, it's really just to keep up with Vito. Let's take a look. Vito, he's very tactically using his overtake button. He doesn't have too much left in the tank, but he's using it very wisely in order to hold off the likes of Nathan to try to keep that first spot before for the end of the race. Let's take a look. AJ Wuhan.
Penalties, and it looks like Vito is on his last warning. I don't see Nathan's name at all, so pressure.
Oh, okay, yeah, so pressure for Vito to keep it clean now for the rest of the race. Now AJ Wuhan and Damn Spin, they're battling it out once again. Surprise, surprise.
And
as we've seen all race.
Waiting, sniffing for a chance.
Yeah, but now Gexy, he's brought the gap actually down to under a second, so he's going to be in DRS range of the Williams car, so he might still be able to make a move. Who is that? Is that Bumblebee with causing a yellow flag, I think. I'm not too sure what happened there. Maybe he just had a bit of a moment. Oh yeah, definitely a back marker. That's what it is there. But here we go, back down the start-finish straight. Vito, Nathan. It's still gonna be Vito in the lead. Nathan just can't catch up to Vito with the DRS. He's getting oh so close, but just can't make it stick. So it's another lap now of Vito in the lead, and now on lap 29, he's got about 3 laps to go. AJ Wuhan and Damn Spin trading the spot once again. They're still battling it out. Now at some point, if you're the Williams team boss, you're gonna have to get on the radio and say, guys, stop fighting, get away from Gexy. But I don't think that's gonna happen, as they're still battling with one another, trying to just barely giving each other enough room. AJ Wuhan is able to keep that spot for the time being now, but we'll see what happens come the next lap. Who's going to take that P5?
as a fan of the sport, you love to see that.
Oh
Though
yeah, you
I
love.
know as a teammate you don't want to see it, but when you're watching, you want it. This is great.
Oh, 100%. I'd love to see it here in the commentator's booth, but as far as the team is concerned, they're probably sweating a little bit in the pit box, I gotta say.
Ooh,
But let's
Nathan's a
go
lot
back to
closer out
Nathan.
of
Very, very close.
16.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Can he actually
Oh, he's
put
gonna
it
have him
through?
here.
Yep, he's got maybe just enough overtake to make it work. They're going side by side. It looks like Nathan just was able to get the move going. And yeah, he's up into first, and there isn't going to be too much battling from Vito for the time being. Not too much overtake to use if you're Vito. So all you can really do is keep the gap, manage the gap, and see what you can do. Because now with 3 laps to go for Vito, you're committing to the end of the race. I don't think you're going to be pitting anymore. And here we go. Damn Spin trying to go down the inside here of, I believe it's turn 4 of his teammate once again. They're going to go side by side. Holy moly, I've said this all race, but we're still seeing it happening. What a sight to see from the Williams drivers. And the best part is they've kept it clean.
The trust in each other to just be doing this the entirety of the race.
The trust,
it's just great to watch.
It's crazy. It's great to watch. The trust in the car, the trust in each other. But now if you're Gexy, you've got 3 laps right up behind them, and you're going to get involved in this battle too. But he's going to have to pick his time very wisely, because it can be very tricky trying to get past, trying to do that 2-car overtake, especially when they're battling amongst each other. But here we go. Let's jump back to the leaders. Will Vito be able to? He's keeping pace with Nathan, but it's another one of those close but no cigar type DRS zones, as he's just able to keep the pace. But I think Vito might be feeling the tire wear of the cars. But let's go back to Damn Spin. AJ Wu.
If you're Vito in this situation, you got to understand how it's playing out. You might not get the win here. You've eked out a strategy that brought you from 4th on the grid to 2nd, and your rival in the championship is all the way down in 7th without much progress for him. You gotta understand that it's a long season. It's race 5. Just take the podium and the points, and you walk out of here with the lead of the championship.
Oh yeah.
Vietnam.
Oh yeah, exactly.
A huge bunch of uncertainties. No one knows the track. New track for everybody, so.
Well, that's the thing. That's
take what you can.
Well, yeah, definitely. On our end, it's easy to say, but when you're behind the wheel, you've got that victory so close. It's hard to sit back and just, I'll settle, quote unquote, for the second. It's hard to say in the driver's mindset. But now with the tire wear being the way it is for Vito, it might actually be the best strategy. So that he doesn't hinder his race with such little time to go, and that might actually be what he's doing.
Can't take a penalty because Cruz is. Oh yeah, Cruz has many penalties.
Yeah, Cruz I think has at least 2-3 seconds. So there's not too much of a worry there, unless. Well, even then, Crooksy's so far behind. I don't think that matters too much. Keeping an eye on the Williams, it looks like Damn Spin is able to keep that 5th spot naturally this time around without the need to battle his teammate.
Able to keep in touch. It's hasn't been a Gexy-like race. Gexy usually out there fighting for the podiums, and he's just trying to scrape home the points.
Yeah, he's just trying to salvage as many points as he can, but definitely not the best weekend for Gexy. Here around the Spanish Grand Prix. Maybe it's just a setup issue. Maybe it wasn't feeling too great for him this time around. But I'm sure he can rebound by next week around Vietnam.
A lot of grading on Vito's left front. You can see it from the onboard.
Oh yeah, definitely lots of grading. At least if it'll show us. I'm not seeing it too much, but I'm not getting the best views. But thankfully for Vito, he's only got one more lap to do on those tires. Pretty impressive, the fact that he's taken those hard tires 23 laps. But it looks like for now Nathan is going to hold on to that provisional first with 1 lap to go. And I just noticed AJ Wuhan, he just took a 3-second time penalty. So that might be Damn Spin YouTube breathing a sigh of relief. I don't know about his penalties, but he might be happy if Jeff is letting him know, and the fact that his teammate might not be too much of a worry for him. But here we are on the last lap. It looks like, at least for now, we've got Nathan in the lead, Vito in second, and Cruz, at least for now, in third. But we'll see if that's going to be the way it's going to end. As you know, I still want to keep an eye on these William cars here, because it's still on the last lap. They're still so close to one another. I want to see if anybody's going to try to risk it for the biscuit on the last lap. Doesn't quite look like it, as we'll jump to the leader, Nathan JB. He wins the Grand Prix. Vito crosses the line in second. Cruz is crossing the line in third, but let's take a look as Crooksy crosses the line. Crooksy is in fourth, so Cruz is able to actually hold on to that third. Even after the penalties, so I guess Crooksy took a few penalties we missed. Damn spin in falling down to sixth as Gexy bumps up to fifth by 0.02 of a second. So I guess through all that, Gexy is able to keep a clean race. So yeah, Damn spin YouTube in sixth, Chris in seventh, AJ Wuhan falls down to eighth. And that's Synchro in ninth with Ivory Brin Mike able to salvage a 10th spot. He had that 5-place grid penalty at the end of qualifying, so a pretty solid finish for him, all things considered. Maverick going with those that hard to soft strategy, finishing in 11th. So still a decent finish considering where he qualified. I think it was right around P15. El Biku in 12th. And I didn't quite catch the rest of the grid for the time being as I was going down, but that was a pretty good race, I do have to say. What are your thoughts on it?
By all the drivers, that was a phenomenal race by everybody. Especially, I wish we could choose drivers of the week, because those two Williams, AJ Wuhan and DMZ, they put on a show. That side by side, well over 25 laps.
Oh yeah, that was incredible to see, and the fact that there was no incident, not even a yellow flag caused between the two of them, not once. Just, clean, hard, head down racing, and you love to see it. This is what we come to see here, week after week. But there we have it.
Impressive by Nathan. Vito just 23 laps on those hards. He did the reverse strategy of what the Maverick did, just completely opposite results for each of them. And Cruz, solid podium. Feel good first week back after the break. You guys are standing up there on the podium. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats to them. And yeah, so we're taking a look. I'm just taking a look at the grid here. We went through most of them. I think we ended up at El Biku, or Jordan 12th, El Biku in 13th, and El Biku actually has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix there with a 1:17.7. I'm not too sure when he set that, but I'm sure he won't be complaining, taking home that extra point for the fastest lap. Bumblebee in 14th, and then of course we have Craig going Catastrophic, not finishing out the race as they both DNF'd out of, or they both retired from the race, I do have to say. But that was a very solid race. Are we getting people in for interviews this week?
Let's see what I can.
Take a look and see if we can get some drivers to come in.
Seeing anybody. Joanna just sent Nathan one, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I see Vito still stayed in the lobby. Everybody else pretty much just left the lobby pretty quickly. Let's actually jump to the showroom, get a little bit prepared there, just in case we have a driver or two who's going to join us in for the interviews.
So we saw a race that we expected to see crazy strategies just really play out in a normal sense. No safety car, no.
Yeah, and that was I got to be honest.
Crazy,
Yeah, and I got to be honest, that no safety car, that was a bit of a surprise. Given the Tier 3 race had 2 safety cars and a VSC. I was kind of expecting something a little bit similar with the Tier 1 race as, oh, perfect. We've got Vito who just joined into the party. Let us know when you can hear us, Vito.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Perfect. So,
Perfect.
so tell us, how you feeling about the race? How you feeling about the strategy that you chose to go on? You're a little bit different than everybody else, starting on the softs compared to everybody in the mediums. Did you feel confident once you saw everybody around you on the medium tires that that it was going to be a good strategy for you?
Yeah, if I wanted to win the race, I had to pass all the drivers in front of me, and then I didn't manage to do that on Nathan. Yeah, after 5 or 6 laps, then the tires were really started to go off, and yeah, I had to pit very early. I got the undercut though on the all the drivers, and but yeah, last 10 laps were very difficult too. And Nathan did absolutely no mistakes, so he deserved to win.
Oh yeah, Nathan did have a
Absolutely there.
yeah, I was gonna say he did have a solid drive. Now, I was a little bit curious. I was talking about this a little bit earlier in the stream. I kind of figured starting on the soft tires, original goal was to probably get past Nathan within the first few laps. So did that take a lot of a bit of a strategy adjustment when you were stuck in second right around pit window time, or did you just had that committed right from the get-go and just sort of stuck to it?
Yeah, I wanted to pass all the three drivers very, very quick, but yeah, I got a very good start, past two drivers, and I wanted to pass Nathan on the first lap as well, but it didn't really work. So yeah, I had to pit at that point on lap
Oh,
9.
okay,
The
okay.
tires were too killed.
Yeah, well, unofficially, Vito, as it stands right now, you are the championship leader going into round 6 of Vietnam. So, congrats on that.
Yeah, thanks, man, thanks.
Thank you. All right. So, I think since Vito was the only one who joined us for the interviews, I think that's probably just about going to do it for us here for the Tier 2 stream. So, tell me, student, do you have any closing comments before we wrap up the stream here?
Well, I am good.
Nope, you're good. All right, perfect. So, on behalf of Stunik and everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. If you did like what you saw, I know I did. Leave a like, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Make sure you don't miss any future uploads, and make sure to tune in just over 30 minutes time for the main event, the Tier 1 race that will be commentated by ISRL X and myself. So make sure to tune in about half an hour for that. But on behalf of everyone, once again, thanks for watching, and until then, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.